Hi everybody, long time no see. It's been a while since I've recorded a vlog like this, and there's a reason for it. Bottom line, I had to get a new camera and get everything working that way. So, topic of this one has got to be the All Lives Matter people. And I really wish they would stop saying All Lives Matter unless they really actually meant all lives matter. So first off, I'm going to go with the argument of why it's just not a good thing. Why it's kind of not the best thing to say all lives matter, especially in the current situation with the Black Lives Matter protests, or the protests that a lot of Black Lives Matter people are going out for, and people are holding up signs that say Black Lives Matter, and NASCAR driver Bubba Wallace had the hashtag Black Lives Matter on his race car at a NASCAR race. And given all of the uproar against police violence against people of color, Black Lives Matter comes out. And when you say all lives matter, it should be all lives matter. Well, what that is if your neighbor's house is on fire and you want the fire department to come to your house because all houses matter, even though your house is not on fire, but your neighbor's house is, kind of need to say that your neighbor's house is the one that matters right now. If a parent has multiple children and one of those children has a broken arm, all of the kids don't get a cast at the same time because all children matter, all of your kids matter. No, it's just the one with the broken arm needs the attention. And that's really all that the Black Lives Matter movement is saying, but the All Lives Matter people want to say, no, all lives matter. And the thing is, they don't really mean it, or I shouldn't generalize. I should say most of the All Lives Matter people don't really mean all lives matter. Most of the people who are saying all lives matter are not in an uproar about children at the border in cages taken away from their parents. All lives matter people are not in an uproar over the number of prisoners in ICE detention who are contracting COVID-19. Most of these All Lives Matter people are the same people who are out protesting wearing masks because it infringes on their freedom or whatever. But, obviously the grocery store clerk's lives don't matter, because a mask isn't going to prevent you from getting sick. It's to prevent you from getting other people sick. The cloth mask stops droplets coming from your mouth to get other people sick. And what all these All Lives Matter people are really saying is, my life matters. That's all I gather from it. So, unless when you say all lives matter, you're willing to stand up for the LGBTQ community as well, you got no business saying all lives matter. What you mean is my life matters, or people like me, their lives matter. People who think the same way I do, our lives matter. That's all you're saying. Because if you're going to say all lives matter, you need to back it up. We've got I'll wait till I get out of the winds. Okay, so we've got a president of the United States who's, feeling really, really, really inadequate right now because he hasn't been able to get out to a rally with fawning, adoring fans cheering for his every inane word that he says. So he's going to host a rally in a city in Tulsa, Oklahoma. He moved it off of Juneteenth. There's a whole controversy over the location being where there was the bombing of the Black Wall Street in the beginning of the 20th century, and then having his rally on Juneteenth, which was another double slap in the face. So he moved it to June 20th, but he's still going to have his rally without any social distancing protocols. He moved the Republican National Convention to Jacksonville, Florida, so he could have his convention without any social distancing protocols. Tulsa's positivity rate for COVID-19 has gone up 700% in the last week, and the rally hasn't even happened yet. And the Tulsa Health Department is saying probably not a good idea to have this rally, but no, he's going to go ahead and do it. Do those people's lives matter? And how many people who are going to be in attendance in that rally would be chanting all lives matter if they get the opportunity? Do protesters' lives matter? These same people who are saying it shouldn't be Black Lives Matter, it's all lives matter, on their same personal social media are posting, if you stand in traffic, I'm going to run you over. I guess all lives don't matter if that's your thought, right? If you say all lives matter, you shouldn't really be in favor of any kind of war, because all lives matter, right? And I'm not saying that there are lives that don't matter. I'm just saying you've got to put the focus where it needs to be. And right now, the focus needs to be on Black lives. And it needs to be that way, and it's needed to be that way for years. If in decades, centuries really. And I can't even pretend to understand the full depth because I'm a white guy. But I know enough to say that right now the Black lives are the ones that need the attention. And matter is the least we can do. You know, while we're at it, that gentleman right there walking down the road was wearing a mask. Because you know why he's wearing the mask? All lives matter. This is one of the things that's really gotten on me, is that I have a lot of conservative friends living where I do, and I am acquaintances with a lot of Trump supporters who are on my Facebook feed, and these same people are railing about having to wear face masks in public because of COVID-19. And they come up with these really inane reasons why they shouldn't have to wear the mask, like they're going to get CO2 poisoning or hypoxia, which surgeons and OR nurses wear these masks for 12-hour shifts at a time without taking it off, and they don't get hypoxia, and they're cutting on people, saving their lives. So that's kind of out. And honestly, if you can't, it's possible to have a breathing obstruction that could, give you difficulty breathing wearing a face mask, but if that's the case, you should probably be considered in a high-risk category and shouldn't even be going out to the grocery store. Come back in when there's less winds. Bike needs a bath. And then they'll come up with an argument that says, it's just an attempt at the government to take away my freedom. What freedom do you have that says you don't have to wear a mask in a public place? It's the same as no shirt, no shoes, no service. So deal with it. A business has the right to refuse you if you're not wearing a cloth face mask, if they're required, or even if they're suggested. You don't know if somebody who works there, who owns that business, is immunocompromised. But no, these people posting this stuff aren't really concerned about all lives matter, because as soon as the protests over George Floyd's kicked up and Black Lives Matter started to get huge national prominence again, these same people complaining about face masks start posting all lives matter. Yet they're not going to wear a mask into a store where the owner of that store or the minimum wage employee behind the cash register is possibly immunocompromised. They won't wear that mask because to them all lives don't matter. They're thinking to themselves, my life matters. The mask isn't going to prevent me from getting sick. No, a cloth face mask is not going to prevent you from contracting coronavirus and getting COVID-19. It's going to prevent you from spreading it to somebody else. If you really thought all lives matter, you'd wear your mask in public. If you really thought all lives matter, you'd be up in arms against the Trump administration taking away health care rights of trans people. If all lives really mattered, you wouldn't be quoting the Bible about the Supreme Court making it illegal for employees to fire folks for their sexual orientation or sexual identity. You can say all lives matter, but you need to mean it. All lives. But in the meantime, we need to focus on the lives that need the attention. And right now, guys, the Black Lives Matter.